What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So I have some very interesting news that I want to bring to you for this update. This is something that we've been seeing lately, and it's honestly very frustrating. Lawmakers keep on playing with the American people, and I want to explain what's going on. This is something that you can't even make up. This is just so crazy what is happening right now, so stay tuned for what is going on. But I want to discuss what is really going on. I want to discuss why this is happening. But here's what's going on. This is some very interesting news that's coming out this afternoon. According to a handful of reports, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he is pushing for cloture. This is simply where he ends debate and gets on to the next bill for the budget resolution, right? But what is happening right now is that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he's going to start this today, but he's going to bring a vote to the floor of the Senate on Wednesday. At least this is the expectation. Well, here's the reason why. And what a lot of lawmakers are saying right now is you can't bring a bill to the floor of the Senate when the bill isn't even written. We don't know what's in it. Nobody's going to support this. But here's the interesting thing, and this is where lawmakers are saying we need to stop playing around. We need to stop messing around and get to the bottom of this. Here's what we're seeing. Right now, according to multiple reports, some are saying that it does not matter if this bill doesn't pass through the Senate because Democrats only promised the moderates, only promised Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, that they would try to get a deal done with Republicans. They would attempt to get a bipartisan bill passed. They never said it would happen. They said they would do their best. Well, why is this important? Here's the reason why. If this bill doesn't pass, then so be it. Republicans, they don't care. Democrats, they tried. If this bill doesn't pass, oh well. That's what's being said. Well, if this doesn't pass, then Democrats can simply just move on to that $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation bill. Well, if you remember, Senator Joe Manchin, all he asked was, we need to try to pass a bill alongside our Republican colleagues. We need to try to pass a bill with the group across the aisle. That was it. So this is Democrats' plan, according to multiple reports, and some Senate aides are saying that this has been discussed before, that Democrats, they can get all the way to the end and be like, you know what, we don't have the votes. Oh well. And if Republicans, you don't want to come to the table with an additional 10, 15, people that will support this bill, well, we tried. And so you're probably thinking, well, why does this matter? Here's the reason why this matters. If we don't see a $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill pass, then we will go right to that $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation bill for infrastructure. Well, here's the deal. President Biden stated, and according to one report, it is actually saying that President Biden was not supposed to come out and say this, but he came out and said that these two bills will not be linked. He came out and stated that no, if let's say we pass, $100 billion for roads. We pass $100 billion for roads in the bipartisan infrastructure bill. That's $100 billion for roads. We're not going to put any more money for roads in the budget reconciliation bill. But then progressives come out and say, well, we're not going to support this. If it's only $100 billion for roads, we need $250. We can't support your bill. And so now what we're seeing is President Biden was never supposed to come out and say that. He was never supposed to come out and say that, no, if something is passed in the bipartisan bill, we will not add on to it. We will not put more money into that same piece of legislation in the next bill. We just won't do it. The reports indicating that President Biden was never supposed to say this. And so now the only way for him to get out of this and not making it look like he lied is simply by getting Democrats and Republicans to fail at passing the bipartisan bill. So what we're seeing right now, some expect we will have about a $4.5 trillion infrastructure package, which will be a budget reconciliation Democrat-only bill. Now, I want to bring this to your attention because progressives are pushing for more. And this is extremely important because right now, if the bipartisan bill fails, according to experts, they are anticipating that more stimulus could be included. They are saying that the budget reconciliation bill is going to appease progressives more than anybody else. So, if we want to see this bill pass, who do we have to go after? According to reports, it is progressives. Progressives in the House hold the majority of the power at this point. Joe Manchin holds a good amount of power, but so does Senator Bernie Sanders. So do other senators. It's the large group in the House, that 90-plus member group of progressives in the House that currently hold the majority of the power. Nancy Pelosi knows this, and this is one of the reasons why she has gone on to their side to figure out what they want so that she can kind of get behind them, push their priorities, get that 90-plus member vote to say yes, and then everything else should be a little bit easier. Well, we will see. What we know right now is this roughly 90 member House progressive group, they want to see more for the American people. And I've been saying this for quite some time, is progressives want to see more. Moderates, they want to see the American people obviously do well, succeed, and get some of their lives back. But progressives, they want to see stimulus checks. I continue to tell you this, that stimulus check, I personally believe, and so do many others, believe these will be added. The reports are indicating that progressives, and well, mainly progressives, but Democrats in general, are just waiting to the last minute to really push these out into this bill because they don't want to see it pulled. But stimulus checks are a big thing. Some want $2,000 per month. Some want a $2,000 one-time payment. Others say they would be satisfied with $1,000. So we will see as we move forward. We know meals for all school-age children. That is something that progressives want as well. Free community college. That is a big thing. That is in this next package. However, some say that could be pulled out, but progressives will not vote for this if it is. The Medicare expansion, this is going to be included. This is something that Senator Bernie Sanders says is a non-starter. If this is not included, this will not be voted on, and so much more. One of the main reasons why all the issues are coming forward at this point is because over the weekend, we heard from Senator Rob Portman, and he stated that the recent falling out for this bill was simply because of the IRS provision, and that this was going to go after tax cheats. However, they pulled it out of the bill because this was going after the wrong people. Now, some Republicans did not like this bill because they did not want to give the IRS more authority to go after tax cheats. Well, who are the ones that are usually cheating the IRS out of money? According to some, it is the cheats are actually coming from the wealthier individuals, which Republicans were not for that. However, the majority of money that the IRS collects is from the lower income earners because they just don't know better, according to experts. What we are seeing, and this is something that Senator Corrin, he stated just today, and I quote, "I don't think anybody's looking forward to an army of auditors to audit your tax returns. Unfortunately, the IRS has a reputation problem because of weaponization, the lowest learners of the world." And then we got Senator Warren, and she says, and I quote, "The Republican view on taxes seems to boil down to make middle-class families pay more, but under no circumstances make billionaires and giant corporations pay even what they are already legally obligated to do. Really tells you who they think government should work for." Yeah. So what we're seeing right now is some are saying that no, this is not the right move, is to give the IRS more money. However, President Biden currently believes that the IRS could bring in close to $700 billion in additional funding with just a small amount of money over the next 10 years if they did this. But if they were to audit more people, okay, only if they audit more people, they bring in this money. But that's the only way. They have to audit more people. And if they audit more people and those people are doing things correctly, then the IRS is just wasting their resources. So, according to the IRS, what they have told us in the past is that they do disproportionately go after lower income taxpayers as they are easier tax returns to navigate. When you go after wealthier individuals and companies, they have a lot of very complicated tax returns, but that's not the most troubling part to the IRS auditor. What we are seeing right now is that data shows that 1% of the top earners are only audited. Okay, the 1% of top earners are only audited 1% of the time. But people who make less than $20,000 per year, or who usually qualify for the earned income tax credit, they actually are audited about 1.4%. So a little bit of a jump there. And the experts say that the IRS targets low-income earners, low-income taxpayers, because they won't actually fight the audit, but wealthier individuals will. Let me explain that. Let's say you get audited. Are you gonna go and take your whole accounting team and say, here's the auditor, here's my accounting team, you guys handle it? No. An average person like you and I probably will never do that. But somebody like Jeff Bezos, you think they're going to sit down with an auditor and go through all their tax returns and their receipts and information and everything, their income? No, they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, here's my team of 20 people, here's my team of 20 accountants, all highly educated people. Here, you talk to the auditor. And then the auditor is going to spend a little bit of time and realize, you know what? I'm never going to get any more money out of this person, so they're pretty much going to give up and quit. That's what we're seeing. And this is one of the big issues, and this is why some say that the Biden administration is wrong by giving the IRS more money, because all they're going to do is come after the lower income and even the middle income earners. The high income earners are going to get off scot-free every single time. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below as well. Do you think it's a good idea to give the IRS more money and risk the chance that you get audited and you may have to pay a little bit more money? Or do you think that's a risk that we're willing to take in order to hopefully get the wealthier individuals to pay their fair share of taxes? Well, let me know your answer down in the comment section below. Here's something else. The Biden administration is actually looking into higher penalties for hospitals that don't publicly state or post their prices for procedures. Well, this is actually pretty good. What we know right now is that they're actually considering or looking into a penalty of about $2 million per year for a larger hospital. But this is substantially up from the $109,500 that is being charged right now to larger hospitals. This is a huge increase, almost 20 times. This is big. And this is, according to some, this would actually make, posting your prices, publicly, this would make it a better idea, because you don't want to get hit with that fine. But as of right now, $110,000, that's nothing. People will pay that in order to trick you into going to their hospital, getting a certain procedure done, and then you get slapped with this just huge, enormous bill. And let me know down in the comment section below, have you ever been slapped with a huge bill? I have. I have multiple times. And it's usually because the hospital or the clinic just didn't do something correctly, but it's already been done, the paperwork's been filed, so you gotta pay it, right? That's just insane. But let me know in the comment section below, have you ever been slapped with a huge bill? Because I personally have. Now, what we are also seeing right now, and this is something that's very interesting. I thought that when I read this this afternoon, I thought I just had to bring this up to you, because what we are seeing right now is Democrats are doing everything they can in their power to make sure former President Donald Trump does not see his way back into a leadership role. What we saw today is that Democrats unveiled a bill that would only allow House members to serve as Speaker of the House. Well, if you remember, I think it was a couple weeks ago, former President Donald Trump said that it would be so interesting if he were to consider the gavel and be considered as Speaker of the House and pretty much take over for Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Well, according to some, they are a little bit worried, and some Democrats do not want this. They do not want former President Donald Trump to be the leader of the House of Representatives or the Speaker. So what they are trying to do is just block him by saying, well, you've never been a member of the House, so you can't serve as Speaker of the House. Well, that's interesting, but we'll see what Donald Trump decides to do moving forward. In other news, the CDC has put the UK on the level 4 travel advisory, meaning this is actually the highest level, and they don't recommend anybody goes to the United Kingdom unless you are fully vaccinated at the bare minimum. Meaning, you need to be fully vaccinated, you need to social distance, you need to wear a mask, you need to wash your hands. Do all the same things the CDC has been stating for the past year. So that's what we know right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said earlier on today, this week will be a pivotal week. We are going to see what happens. We're going to see what the House does, what the Senate does. If Senate Majority Leader truly, Chuck Schumer, really does bring a bill to the floor on Wednesday, if he does, some are saying that this could just be it. This could be the end to the bipartisan infrastructure package, and all that money, all that negotiation will pretty much be lost. They'll just take those provisions, push them right into the budget reconciliation bill, bump it up to roughly $4 to $4.5 trillion, and try to pass that. So that's what we know right now. As I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share any more news and updates with you. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Have an incredible week as well. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.